Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I have a couple things I wanted to talk about in this video. I initially had wanted to have it released yesterday morning, but yesterday was a very busy day for me because both of my sons were selling Cub Scout popcorn. And so I was walking up and down our roads in our neighborhood selling popcorn with the boys. And we had a bit of a lunch break, and then we drove out to my dad's area. I have some family that live on the other side of Oshkosh, and so we parked our car in his driveway, and we loaded up our arms and we walked up and down his streets selling popcorn over there. Because with 2 Cub Scouts, I need to double our sales this year so that both of them have enough money for camp. So needless to say, that kind of put me a little bit tired yesterday. Although by 2 o'clock I had 9,000 steps in, so that was great. But this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. One, I was going to show you what I have on Juanita. This is one of my finished Adirondack wraps. This is made in mandala yarn. I made this one for my daughter. This is the colorway Mermaid. And the nice thing about these wraps is they are super big. And man, I just love this mermaid color. It's just one of those wraps where it's almost like a little blanket for your body that you don't, drape everywhere. The purple in here is just so nice. And then I joined the 2 squares of purple with this light color purple. And I used that kind of invisible join that I have a video about. So I thought I would have Juanita wear that in the video. Because I don't know how many finished Adirondack wraps I've actually shown y'all. I think I've made 5. I'm working on my 5th right now, which is almost done. The other thing, which is I'm really happy, the reason yesterday was so busy with Cub Scouts is because I can talk about this in the video. One of my lovely subscribers, and I don't want to show her address, mailed me, whoa, it's falling over, 2 big boxes of yarn to use for my giveaway. She said she would like this yarn for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Right now I'm at 2,400 and some change. So when I do 2,500, I'm going to do a small Amazon purchase as a giveaway, and that will come up when we hit 2,500. But I am slowly accruing some items for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Oh, friends, I'm already so excited for y'all. So, some Karen Simply Soft with the sparkle. Woo! That should be nice. There's a few skeins of that. You know how I love Karen Simply Soft. And oh my goodness, you y'all are gonna be so lucky. There's a bunch of pink. My husband says I say that weird, and I didn't realize that I said pink weird until I watched these videos back. Some Stitch Rock and Love. It's a Karen brand of pink yarn, and there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 of those. Oh, she really packages this thoroughly. And here are 2 of the gray sparkle Karen Simply Soft. So, wow, I am very thankful for this donation, friends. And I'm very excited for whoever gets to be the 5,000 subscriber winner. So we got that in one box as I'm sorting through. And then let's see what's in this one. Let's get our numbers up to 5,000 so someone can make some wonderful products. I'm trying to open this without a knife. And let's see what's in here. Woo! I'm so excited. I wish I could win. So, hey Jared, do you want to come here and hold this yarn for me?
Of course.
So here's my son Jared. Come on over here.
Hello.
Here's some Premier Cottons. There's a blue one and a green one. Oh, and look at this. A nice pretty orange one. And a nice oatmeal-y brown one. And then here's some Crafter's Secret. 3 of these variegateds. Holy cats. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so great. Maybe you can start putting these in this one here, buddy. So I'm super excited for y'all. And then is a really nice big woolly. I love this chunky yarn. Another nice big chunk of blue. Oh my goodness. And then here's some more of this. Let's see, we got 2.
Wait, where'd you get this?
3. One of my subscribers mailed this. 4.
Thank you. Guys, this isn't mine.
5. 6. Holy cats, you might be able to make something really nice with this. And then she sent a pair of scissors. And here, buddy, can you hold these buttons up?
Yeah.
And some buttons. Here.
And we have an envelope.
And there's an envelope here. Oh my gosh. We got 2 envelopes. Ooh. Ooh, you guys are gonna love this. These little bird scissors. I got a pair for my husband for Christmas. So there's 3 pairs of little bird scissors. Oh my, I love the little bird scissors. My mom used to have some when I was a kid, and they were her scissors, and she didn't let us use them. But I used to sneak when she wouldn't be in the room. Go over there and open and close her bird scissors. I love them. And then here's a real card. Oh, look how beautiful that is.
Wow, guys, thank you so much.
And it says, she's thanking me for having a channel and sharing my talents. She's been watching my videos for a while, and she likes them. And she hopefully I can use this yarn for a giveaway. And I sure can. This is a very exciting 5,000 subscriber giveaway package. So let's get those 5,000 subscribers in so y'all can enjoy this wonderful yarny goodness. And it smells deliciously like yarn. So there we are. Thank you, Jer, for helping.
No problem, Mom.
Hold all this yarn. So yes, thank you very much, subscriber. I don't remember your username, and I don't want to say your real name in real life on here. So you know who you are, and if you're all right with me saying your name, I'll put it in the description after you let me know. So the meat and the potatoes of this video. Hopefully you all have sat through all that wonderfulness and are ready to hear what I wanted to talk about for this video. I took some notes so I won't get off track. So I had a couple comments of folks asking me how much was I going to charge for one of these big button cowls. Because I was making a bunch because I have a craft show or a craft fair coming up October 13th, I think. 13th or 21st, one of those. And I thought, you know what? I think I will talk about in this video my thoughts and personal opinions on pricing items that I crochet. And I just want to preface this. These are my personal thoughts and feelings. You can do whatever you'd like to do. And you can take or leave my ideas. You know, I'm not trying to persuade all of you all to price your items the way I price mine. And I'm not trying to be pushy. I'm just answering some questions. And I've actually put a lot of thought into this. Now, if I have a friend or a family member that says, hey, Summer, will you make me this hat? Or will you make me this shawl? I will make it. I'll say, if you want, bring me the specific yarn that you want. You can head over to Hobby Lobby, and I'll recommend something, because as many of you know, sometimes they'll come up with this fuzzy stuff and the fun fur, and they're like, hey, will you make me a sweater? And you're like, ooh, I don't know if that yarn's going to be good for that. So I'll say, oh, well, why don't you stop by Hobby Lobby and look at, I love this yarn, it's nice acrylic, and I'll make a great child's hat. Or, you know, why don't you head over, I had a friend that asked for these, the Adirondack wrap, and I said, well, head over to Walmart, they have some mandala cakes, choose 3 of the color that you like, and I'll make that wrap for you. And typically, if they buy the yarn, I don't mind, for my close friends and family, just making something. Because for me, crocheting is my hobby. I like to do it, and I feel like it's like a free treat. It's like if you're a movie person and you love going to the theater watching movies, and someone's like, hey, I'll take you to the movie and pay for you. I get a crochet for free. So that's what I typically do for friends and family. Now, I have had one of the neighbor boys really liked the beard hats that I made my children. And he wanted one, and I had some leftover yarn, so I crocheted him up a hat and a beard, and I gave it to him. I didn't ask for any money because it was fine. It took me like 40 minutes, if that. And then his mom sent over a thank you card with a gift card for Joann's. So I find that a lot of times people are thankful for what you do. Now, of course, you always have those folks that are not thankful and they're greedy. And as of yet, I've not come across anybody like that in my friends and family circle or my life. And so I've always been I've been blessed in return by blessing them. And I'm very, very fortunate in that way. So typically for friends and family, I crochet for the cost of yarn. Occasionally they'll say, I'll say you supply the yarn or, whatnot, and then I'll crochet. Now, when I'm crocheting for like a craft fair or a bunch of items around Christmas time, this is what I usually say when people ask me to make things for them. I think about the cost of the yarn. Now this covers two areas. So if I'm making like this Adirondack wrap with yarn that I bought from Walmart for approximately, $4 a skein, this one does generally take me a bit of time because they're longer. I usually will say about $20. Now, I know some of you are probably like throwing up because I've seen in Facebook groups that a lot of people charge far more than I do. But the reason is because all of my mandala cakes that I have, for the most part, I got for $1 or $2 each. That's how much I spent on the yarn. So this here these skeins were $2 each, so it was $6 for the yarn. Now, crocheting it sure does take a little bit more time, but I'm usually doing it while I'm sitting outside watching my kids play at the park or riding bikes, or I'm watching movies with them, or while I'm watching other YouTube folks talk about their crochet. So it doesn't even feel like a long time. And I suppose if you took that 30 minutes, that 20 minutes, and you added it up, I really don't have any idea how many hours it takes for me to make this. So I just usually say, okay, it costs about $6 for the yarn, 3 times 6, 18, round to 20. That's what I do. And this is a very simple pattern. It's all double crochets, couple rows of double crochets. So it's not a lot of thought. I'm not having to read the pattern. It's just, I just sit there and crochet it. So for me, I kind of keep that in mind. The amount of time that I put into it and how difficult the pattern is. Now, if I'm a brand new crocheter, and let's say I was making one of these wraps, and because I don't know how to read patterns very well or whatnot, and let's say the average crocheter could probably make this in a 2-hour time period spread out amongst a week even. But if I were new and it took me double the time when you're just figuring it out, I personally don't feel like it's fair for me to charge by the hour, charge more because it took me longer to figure out or make a pattern. If the average time, or for an average crocheter, would be able to get it done in 2 hours, do you kind of understand what I'm saying? I guess I'm trying to say this in a nice roundabout way. The first one of these Adirondack wraps took me a very long time. I had to cipher the pattern. It took me a long time to figure it out, count the stitches, line it up. And it maybe took me more time than where I'm at now, where I can probably make one in a week. And so I don't feel like it's fair for me to charge more money to make a project because it takes me longer than the average person. I kind of have an idea of how long it should take, and if it takes me a lot longer, then I don't feel like it's fair because my skills are lacking, or because I wasn't able to work on it as hard, if you get what I mean. So I keep that into account, how long it takes me to make a project, about how long it should, and I kind of keep that in mind when I'm pricing an object. Another point I think about when pricing an object is, what is the market in my area? I don't know business words, but I'm trying to think about the market of my area. So where I live in Wisconsin, there's quite a few crafting events, especially October to December. And there's a lot of crocheters. If I look on like the Facebook market group, there's lots of people that are selling baby blankets and hats. If you go to yard sales, a lot of times there'll be a table at the yard sales where people are selling things that they've made. So our area has an abundance of people that make and sell homemade items. And so if I were to charge, let's just say $60 for this Adirondack wrap, maybe nobody would buy it. And I would have a $60 Adirondack wrap here in a bin that I would take out every time I do a craft show and then put back in a bin. It's just this area cannot support financially top dollar for a lot of handmade items. Now you may live in an area where the crafting vendors, or maybe you live in an area that's a little higher income levels where maybe they can support that, but in this area we're a working class middle America area, and top dollar isn't always. So you have to think of that also when you are pricing your items. Almost done. One more area that I feel like you also should keep in mind when you're pricing your items is something called supply and demand, which is a business word. And that's if there are a lot of people in your area, and let's backtrack about a year, who are making the messy bun hats. They're pumping out those messy bun hats. They have tables and tables of them at craft shows. People are selling them on their Facebook pages and in their Facebook groups. If you're charging $25 to $30 for a messy bun hat made of acrylic yarn, chances are nobody's going to buy yours because there's going to be other people who are selling them, and even Walmart are selling them for 10 or less. So you have to think of the availability of the item. If they can go to other people and get one for a little cheaper, maybe made out of a less quality yarn, or even at Walmart, then you having a hat priced at $25 to $30 is not going to sell as well. You might get one or two people buying that hat, and other than that, you might be just bringing them back home in your tubs after your craft show. So I really think you need to consider, is the market flooded with this item? Can they go to Walmart and get one for $5? Can their grandma make them one in a 30-minute time period? So I like to try to really search out things that are, I think, not as available, and I like to have a little bit of variety. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. And then the final piece I think that's really important when it comes to pricing your item is the type of yarn you're using. If you're using acrylic or cotton yarn, you really should charge a little bit less than if you're using wools, merino wools, and the more expensive yarn shop wools. Because, so if this is made out of acrylic mandala yarn, like I said, I'd charge maybe $24 for this. If I had made this in merino wool, like one of these that cost $24 a skein, I would probably have to charge $75 to $100 for this wrap. Because this yarn costs $25 a skein versus my mandala that costs $2 a skein. And so, whereas this is beautiful, absolutely, it is beautiful, and the colors are vibrant and looks so nice, and the mandala yarn is soft, I don't think it would be fair for me to charge $75 for Juanita's wrap. But if I was making it out of this Malabrigo Aro yarn at $24 a skein, holy cats, I'm going to charge $75 for that wrap because this yarn is far more expensive. So I think the cost of your yarn and the quality of your yarn also plays a role in how you're pricing your item. So I guess that's kind of what I think about. So all of this came because somebody was asking me, how much would I price, let me put it on for y'all, how much would I charge for this big button cowl that I made? And so this yarn cost me $2.40 a skein. It used 1.5, so that's $2.50 plus $1.25, so it cost me $4 or so for the yarn. And if I did the wrong math, I'm sorry, folks. And then this button was 98 cents, so this cost me $5 in supplies. I made this cowl in less than an hour. And so even if I charged by the hour rate, to me, 3 times 5 is 15, and it took me an hour. So I would say I would charge $15 for these cowls. Now, if I made this cowl out of some wool, and it cost me more money than $2.47 a skein, then I would charge probably $25 to $30 for a wool, merino wool cowl. Okay? So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. The other reason pricing is kind of hard for me is because I'm that person that goes to the craft shows and to the craft fairs, and I think, ooh, I can make that. And I just like kind of figure out that I can make it for cheaper. So I know pricing is always controversial because I've seen plenty of fights get started on Facebook groups because of pricing. So again, I'm not telling you all that you need to price your items the way I do. I just had a few folks ask me how I price things, and that was my long drawn out story to say that these cowls that I've been making with yarn that I got for $2.50 a skein, I probably would charge $15. That's how I do it. I keep the cost of the products that I use and how much time I put into it, a conservative amount of time. Like I said, so I hope that doesn't upset anybody, because I do know that it can get upsetting. And by golly, if you want to charge more and you have the market for it and you have an area where people will pay top dollar for that, then please do. Please do. We all need to support each other in our fiber arts. And to be honest, I'm kind of at the point now where my husband just wants me to get some of this stuff out of the house. I don't know if any of you are like that, because I just made 5 of these big button cowls, and I have a few of these sitting out, and I got some virus shawls, and I got a bunch of hats. And so I've got all this stuff piling up, and my husband's like, are you gonna do something with that stack? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to a craft show on October 13th, hopefully to sell it. So there it is, friends. That's what I got, and this is a longer video, so I hope you all waited to the end and I don't get a bunch of hate in the comments. But if I do, that's the way life is. I know it is. And I'm not going to be upset by it, because we all have different opinions when it comes to these such things. And I value your opinion and your reasons for why, and I hope you value me and my opinion. Until then, happy crafting.